Have you ever felt tired? Not just the regular kind of tired, I'm talking about that deep, nagging fatigue that lingers no matter how much you rest. That kind where your body feels heavier than usual, where walking to the mailbox feels like a marathon. Now imagine waking up at 3 a.m., soaked in cold sweat. Your heart's racing. You sit on the edge of the bed, hand on your chest, but there's no sharp pain, just a weird pressure, a tightness, like someone placed a rock on your chest. And then, it passes. You think. It's probably nothing. Maybe anxiety. Maybe just a dream. But what if that wasn't just a bad night? What if it were your body sending you a life-saving message, warning you of an incoming heart attack? Hi, I'm Harold Bennett. I'm 76 years old, a retired history teacher, a grandfather of 3, and a survivor of a silent heart attack. Yes, a silent heart attack. No dramatic collapse, no ambulance sirens right away. Just subtle symptoms that I ignored. Chest discomfort, shortness of breath, strange cold sweat, and a kind of exhaustion that sleep couldn't fix. I brushed them off. I thought. This is just what aging feels like. You're not young anymore, Harold. Tough it out. That nearly cost me my life. And here's the truth, many seniors go through the same thing. They feel something is off, but it's not bad enough to call 911. They hesitate. They wait. They hope it'll go away. But sometimes, it doesn't. That's why I created this video. To help you recognize the early warning signs of a heart attack in seniors. Not the textbook signs. Not the ones you see in movies. But the quiet, subtle ones that doctors sometimes miss. The ones your body whispers, hoping you'll listen. Because knowing these signs isn't just about information. It's about empowerment. It's about being able to say, I know what this might be. I need help. And I won't wait. So before we continue, click the like button if you care about your senior heart health or someone you love does. It tells the algorithm this is important. More importantly, it tells me that this message is reaching the people who need it. And please, comment below if you've ever experienced unusual symptoms like fatigue, nausea, jaw pain, or sleepless nights with cold sweats. Your story might help someone else recognize their own. And make sure to stay with me until the end, because I'll share the #1 subtle sign of a heart attack that most doctors ignore, especially in older adults. Miss it, and it could be fatal. Know it, and you might just save your own life. Let's begin this journey together. I remember that morning like it was yesterday. It started just like any other. Coffee brewing. Morning sun on my porch. A light breeze was blowing through the trees. But my body, something felt different. I had this tightness across my chest, not pain exactly, just pressure. I thought maybe I slept funny. Or maybe it was heartburn. I brushed it off. Then that afternoon, I bent down to pick up my grandson's toy. And when I stood up, my vision blurred. I felt lightheaded, and my heart was racing. Again. I ignored it. I'm just tired, I told myself. Just age catching up. That night, I woke up soaked in cold sweat, heart pounding, gasping for breath. I sat on the edge of the bed for 10 minutes, afraid to lie back down. I should have gone to the hospital right then. But I didn't. The next day, the fatigue hit me like a truck. No appetite. Nausea. A strange ache in my left arm and jaw. That's when my daughter looked at me and said, "Dad, you don't look right. We're going to the ER. Now." That moment, it might have saved my life. Turns out, I was hours away from a major heart attack. The doctor told me, "Mr. Bennett, what you had was a warning. Most folks don't get one." That hit me hard. I could have been a memory. But instead, I got another chance. And I made a promise to myself. If I got through it, I'd use whatever time I had left to help others see the signs. Because I ignored the early heart attack warning signs. I thought they'd be obvious: dramatic pain, clutching my chest, collapsing. But no, they whispered. And I almost didn't hear them. I'm sharing this not as a doctor, but as someone who's been there. Someone who knows what it feels like to look fine, but not feel fine. Someone who wants you to live. In this video, I'll walk you through the 7 subtle symptoms of a heart attack in seniors, the kind that sneak up quietly. If you're over 60, or love someone who is, this could be the most important video you watch today. Hit that like button if you believe information saves lives. Leave a comment if any of these signs sound familiar. And please, stay with me till the end. What's coming next could change, or even save, your life. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt a little off, but didn't say anything? Maybe a small pain or a strange feeling in your chest. Not enough to panic, but enough to make you pause. I know I have. And looking back, those moments mattered. You see, early signs of a heart attack aren't always what we expect. They're not like in the movies. No dramatic clutching of the chest. No falling to the floor. Sometimes, they're just quiet. A tightness in the chest that comes and goes. A little fatigue after walking up the porch steps. Feeling winded after tying your shoes. Waking up in a sweat, heart racing, but thinking it's just a bad dream. These are the whispers. Your heart is talking to you, not screaming, just trying to be heard. And for folks like us, over 60, we're quick to say, it's just aging. But sometimes, it's not. Here's what most people don't realize. Over 40% of seniors experience what's called silent symptoms. That means no obvious chest pain. No big drama. Just clues, small ones, that are easy to miss. That's what happened to my friend Marjorie. 74, active, sharp as ever. She had been tired for a week. A little short of breath. Her doctor said it was probably stress. She believed it. Then one morning, she didn't wake up. That's the thing about heart attacks. They don't always come with a warning bell. Sometimes the warning is just a whisper, and if we're not listening, we miss it. That's why this matters. Because it's not just about knowing signs. It's about not ignoring the body that's been taking care of us for decades. Your body remembers. It warns you, not with panic, but with patterns. Listen to your patterns. And listen to your instincts. If something feels wrong, even a little, talk to your doctor. Don't wait for it to get worse. Don't be polite about your pain. Because being silent won't save you. Speaking up might. And if you're watching this thinking, this sounds like me, please, don't ignore that feeling. In just a minute, I'll break down the 7 subtle early symptoms of a heart attack in seniors, clearly, simply, with the heart of someone who's been through it. But first, drop a comment if you've ever felt something and kept it to yourself. You're not alone. And maybe, by sharing, you'll help someone else speak up too. Let me take you back to a morning not so long ago. The sun was up, coffee brewing, birds singing. I was doing something simple, picking up my garden hose. Suddenly, I felt a strange tightness in my chest. Not pain, just pressure. Like someone gently resting a brick there. I paused. Took a breath. Maybe I moved wrong, I thought. Maybe it's just indigestion. But deep down, something felt off. That tightness, it went away in seconds. But it left a question behind. You see, this is how many heart attacks begin, not with a bang, but with a whisper. The medical term is angina, chest discomfort caused by ischemia, which means reduced blood flow to the heart. It usually comes with activity, walking, bending, lifting, and disappears with rest. And that's exactly why we dismiss it. Because it fades. But just because something fades, doesn't mean it's not real. That fading can be the most dangerous part. It tricks you into thinking it was nothing. That's the twist. Angina isn't the heart's scream. It's its first soft knock. A polite warning. I need more oxygen, it says. And when the oxygen doesn't come, the real damage begins. When we ignore chest tightness, we ignore the chance to act early. To check our coronary arteries. To adjust medications. To make changes that could save our lives. And for seniors, it's even trickier. Because the signs can be so mild. Some people don't feel pain. They feel pressure, fatigue, or even jaw or shoulder pain instead. That's why it's called a silent symptom. It's not loud, but it's serious. That morning, after I felt that pressure, I almost went on with my day. But something stopped me. I remembered George, a neighbor who ignored his angina. The next week, he was gone. That memory saved me. I called my doctor. Got a test. And sure enough, I had a partial blockage. A small stent, a few meds, and I'm here, able to tell you this story. So if you ever feel a strange tightness, don't rush past it. Don't wait for it to come back stronger. Act at the first knock. Your heart is counting on you to listen. Drop a if you've ever felt something similar, and chose to ignore or investigate it. And stick around, in the next part, we'll talk about shortness of breath, and why feeling winded might be more than just getting older. Let me take a breath before I begin this part, because today, we're talking about breath itself. Ever walked across the room and felt like you just climbed a hill? I have. And I'll admit, I thought it was just age catching up. But sometimes, age is just a mask, hiding something deeper. This symptom, shortness of breath, is often misunderstood. It's not just about lungs. It's your heart crying out. You see, when the heart weakens or struggles to pump properly, fluid can build up in the lungs. That's what we call pulmonary congestion. And when it starts, so does the breathlessness. It might show up when you walk to the mailbox. When you bend to tie your shoe. When you lie flat in bed and suddenly need to sit up to breathe. But here's the twist. We often dismiss this. We say, maybe it's asthma. I must be out of shape. It's nothing serious. That's what my neighbor Nancy thought. She was 67, sharp and strong, and loved gardening. One week, she started feeling winded. She couldn't finish watering her flowers without needing to rest. She thought, it's the weather. But it wasn't. One night, she couldn't catch her breath, and passed out. Turns out, her heart failure had started weeks before. The early signs were there, but silent. Nancy's okay now, thanks to her quick-thinking daughter. But not everyone is so lucky. That's why I'm sharing this. Because breath is life. And when breathing becomes work, that's a sign your body is working too hard. Especially if you also feel tired, lightheaded, or if your ankles are swelling. These are all signals that your heart is under pressure. Don't wait for pain to take you seriously. Sometimes, shortness of breath is the first and only sign. Especially in older adults. Especially in women. It doesn't shout. It whispers. So I'll ask you now. Have you felt breathless lately, doing things that used to feel easy? Have you had to pause mid-sentence just to breathe? Share your story in the comments. You could help someone else realize, they're not alone. And they don't have to wait until it's too late. Stick with me, because next, we'll explore the hidden exhaustion. Unusual fatigue that could quietly point to heart disease, long before any pain arrives. I want you to think of fatigue a little differently today. Not just, tired after a walk. But the kind of unusual fatigue that clings, no matter how much you rest. It's the body's whisper again. My story, I thought it was just old age hitting me. But this fatigue felt deeper. Every afternoon, after lunch, I'd nap for an hour. Then wake up and feel empty. My grandson would ask, "Grandpa, wanna play checkers?" And I'd say I wasn't up for it. Something inside me ached, not my muscles, but my heart. And yet, I brushed it off. Because, what did I expect at 76, right? But here's the twist. Fatigue isn't always routine. For seniors, especially after a near miss like mine, it can be a silent symptom of a heart under stress. And it's more common than you think. Medical studies show, seniors often report fatigue before any chest pain, sometimes weeks or months earlier. That fatigue isn't just being sleepy. It's your heart saying, "Help." Your muscles may be strong, but your heart can't keep up. It's like running on a leaky pump. Eventually, both slow down. And I didn't realize at first. I thought if I just slept more, I'd be fine. But it didn't go away. I got the message when I struggled to climb the porch steps after my granddaughter visited. I looked at her and thought, if this keeps up, I might not be here next year. That was the moment I finally called my cardiologist. And thank God I did. My heart was functioning at half strength. But instead of riding into a full crisis, I adjusted medications and lifestyle early. And that's the point. That unusual fatigue gave me a chance to act before the pain came. So I ask you, have you been more tired lately, despite resting? Forgotten appointments, skipped walks, turned down invitations? Drop a comment. Because your story might nudge someone to listen. And stick with me. Next, I'll explain why cold sweats at night might not be menopause, or a dream, but a warning sign your heart isn't getting enough blood. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, without any fever or hot flash? That's what I want to pause on, cold sweats, the kind where the pillow feels soaked, and your heart races. Most of us brush it off, just a bad dream or probably the air conditioning messing with me. But when it happens repeatedly, especially with other early signs of a heart attack, it's a silent symptom you shouldn't ignore. Let me share a moment from my own life. One night, I woke up gasping, drenched head to toe. I thought, is it just a nightmare? But this time, my heart felt like it was pounding a rap song. I reached over and turned on the lamp, my shirt was soaked. Instead of going back to sleep, I paused. That pause saved me. Because cold sweats at night, especially when paired with chest tightness or breathlessness, can signal that your heart is under stress. Here's why it happens. Your body senses low oxygen levels or unstable blood pressure, triggering a fight or flight response, even while you sleep. That's your autonomic nervous system going into alert mode. It's a whisper, a warning embedded deep in your physiology. The twist is, you're alone in the dark, your heart and sweat glands working overtime, while you dream. That's why we think, just a weird night. But your body, it didn't forget. I asked my nurse daughter one morning, "Is this dangerous?" She said, "Dad, if you had no fever, and you woke drenched, it could mean your heart is struggling." That hit me. I booked a checkup. And discovered I had early heart stress, not a heart attack, but heading that way. I caught it. And I adjusted. So tonight, if you wake up sweating, and your chest or breath feels off, don't ignore it. Your body just might be telling you, listen closer. Hit the if you've experienced cold sweats like that, and stay with me. Soon, I'll share why pain in your jaw, neck, or arms could be a referred pain from your heart, and why it's a red flag you shouldn't miss. Have you ever felt pain in your jaw, and thought it was just from chewing too hard? Or pain in your shoulder that you blamed on sleeping funny? If so, please listen closely. That pain might not be from your jaw or shoulder at all. It could be referred pain, originating in the heart. We often overlook this, especially in heart attacks in elderly people. Because it's sneaky. Here's a moment from my life. I had a dull ache in my left shoulder. I assumed it was from carrying groceries. But then the pain traveled to my jaw, and I felt a tightness across my upper chest. That's when I paused. I realized, this isn't a muscle pull. This is a signal. You see, nerves from the heart share pathways with nerves from the jaw, neck, and arms. That means when the heart sends an alarm, the brain can misinterpret it. We feel it in places other than the chest. That's called referred pain. And it's one of the most common, but quiet, silent symptoms of a heart attack. Many times. This is the only symptom. No crushing chest pain. Just an ache in your jaw. Or a twinge in your arm. I remember thinking, oh, my shoulder's stiff. But then my jaw hurt. And I thought, wait. That weight could have cost me. I'm asking you now. Have you had unexplained jaw pain, arm discomfort, or neck ache, that came with no clear cause? Was it brushing teeth? Folding clothes? Reaching a shelf? Comment below. You might help someone else link that numbness or dull ache to their heart. Here's the twist. Many elderly people never feel chest pain during a heart attack. But they feel these misplaced aches instead, and ignore them. Don't let that be you. If something doesn't feel right, no matter where, it could be your heart speaking. And next, stay tuned. I'll reveal how cold sweats and nausea often arrive together, and what your vagus nerve has to do with it. Don't click away. Imagine this. You wake up, sit at your favorite breakfast spot, and take a bite. But right away, your stomach feels off. Full, heavy, slightly nauseous, almost like you shouldn't have eaten at all. You think, must be gas. Probably ate too late last night. So you shrug it off. But here's the thing, sometimes, that feeling doesn't come from your stomach, it comes from your heart. Nausea and indigestion can be disguised as simple digestive issues. But in many older adults, they're silent symptoms, messages from the heart sent through your vagus nerve. The vagus connects your heart and gut. When your heart is under pressure, it can send signals that feel like stomach problems. But here's the twist, it doesn't shout. It whispers, through a queasy gut. Let me tell you what happened to me. I sat down for breakfast, usually a light meal. But that morning, my appetite felt gone. Every bite felt heavy. My stomach churned like I'd eaten spoiled food. Then came the wave of fatigue. Heaviness in my limbs, and a strange ache in my jaw. My wife saw my face and asked, "Are you alright?" I shrugged and said, "I think it's just indigestion." I lay down for a short nap, and woke up 2 hours later feeling odd. Not stomach odd, heart odd. That's when I knew it was more than food. I called my doctor, explained everything, and she asked, "What about chest tightness, cold sweats, shortness of breath?" I realized I'd had all of them, quietly, in the background. It led to an ECG, where they spotted a blocked artery before it blew. That quick action saved me from a heart attack. So here's what you need to know. If nausea or indigestion strikes without a clear reason, and especially if it's paired with fatigue, chest discomfort, or cold sweats, don't ignore it. Trust me. Life taught me, sometimes the best alerts come from the gut, from your vagus nerve. Drop a comment below if this sounds familiar, or if you've seen it in someone you love. And don't go anywhere. Next up, I'll take you through how pain in your back, shoulders, or arms often starts with the heart, and why it's a signal you can't afford to miss. Have you ever woken up with a sore neck or stiff shoulders, and just blamed it on how you slept? Or felt an ache running across your upper back and thought, "It's just my age, or maybe I moved wrong yesterday"? What if those aches weren't just muscle tension, but a whisper from your heart? This is what doctors call referred pain. When your heart is in trouble, especially in older adults, it doesn't always scream from your chest. Instead, it sends quiet signals, through shared nerve pathways. That means you might feel back pain, neck tightness, or shoulder discomfort, even without chest pressure. I've felt it myself. One morning, my left shoulder felt sore. I thought it was from playing with my grandson the day before. But then, I noticed something else. A deep fatigue. A strange tightness in my jaw. And a feeling, something just wasn't right. My heart was speaking. See, the nerves from the heart, neck, back, and shoulders, they're connected. So your brain gets confused. And this confusion can cost lives. That's why I want you to remember this. If you feel pain in your back, neck, or shoulders, out of nowhere, with no clear reason, pay attention. Especially if it's on the left side, or if it comes with tiredness, shortness of breath, or cold sweats. Your body is wise. It talks. Not in words, but in sensations. And the earlier you listen, the longer and healthier you may live. Share below if you've ever experienced pain like this, and didn't know what it meant. Don't miss what's next, we'll show exactly what to do when these signs appear. Stay with us, your life might just depend on it. We've just uncovered the 7 silent warning signs your heart might whisper, long before a crisis. Not every heart attack begins with chest pain. Sometimes, it starts with a cold sweat. A sudden fatigue. A strange ache in your back or jaw. But these aren't random. They are early signs of a heart attack. The problem is, many seniors ignore them. It's age. Just indigestion. I'm just tired. But ignoring a whisper today, could mean a scream tomorrow. That's why I created this channel, Senior Healthy Stories with Harold, to help you listen before it's too late. If you felt connected to any part of this video, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment. Hit like. Subscribe and tap the bell. Next video, I'll show you what to do during a heart emergency. And please, send this to someone over 60. A neighbor. A parent. A friend. You could save a life. Your health is your story. Don't let it end too soon, /N. I'm Harold Bennett. Thank you for watching. Take care of your heart. And I'll see you in the next chapter.